What's up, guys? It's me, Technology Dude 117, and today I'm coming at you guys with my first impressions for the brand new game Murdered Soul Suspect. Now, Murdered just came out today on the Xbox One, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 3, and the PC. Now, Murdered's been a game that I've had my eye on for a while. Since it was first announced, it's really sort of caught my attention. The premise behind the game really just appealed to me. I really thought it was interesting. You play as a police officer who had a really shady past, and he was never really a good guy. And he's basically killed, and he needs to solve from the afterlife who his killer is so he can move on and basically be at peace. Now, that's exactly how the game ended up being, and going into Murdered Soul Suspect, I wasn't expecting a huge AAA blockbuster. I wasn't expecting a game that's going to win a bunch of awards at the end of the year. What I was expecting was a game that was going to, be fun, be creative, and just overall hold my interest for the entirety of it. And I think that's what I've gotten with Murdered Soul Suspect. So I've played the game for about 2 hours now, and I'm really enjoying it. Yes, it does have its flaws, a fair amount of flaws, but there is a lot of good here, and I think Airtight Games has definitely done a good job on their first fully fledged retail title. Now, in Murdered Soul Suspect, as I mentioned previously, you play a detective, Ronan O'Connor. Now, Ronan has a very sort of shady past, like I said. He's not really the best guy, and he's killed in the line of duty going after the Bell Killer, who's this crazy serial killer guy who's basically been going around tormenting and terrorizing the people of Salem. And Ronan goes after him. He attacks Ronan. He kills Ronan. And then Ronan finds out that it is his goal to find out who the Bell Killer is and to stop him so he can move on and be at peace with himself. Now, the premise in the game is absolutely awesome. Like, it's so original. I've never, heard of anything like this. Yes, there's been other detective games and things like that, but, there's never been anything this original to me, and I really think it's really cool. Now, the way Airtight Games has the different cases set up and things like that, it really builds a lot of suspense, and it really makes each and every case and every piece of evidence very sort of suspenseful, if you will. I've already said suspenseful, but it really makes everything intense. And the level of suspense that's on display here and the level of suspense that's put into everything here really propels the player forward and really makes me want to see Ronan's story through completely. Now, I really like how they have this set up. It keeps the story interesting, and it keeps me wanting to continue to play. It keeps me wanting to see what's around every corner. They sort of have it set up so it's kind of like a cliffhanger after every investigation, and you just have to see what happens next. I really like detective games, and I really think they've done a great job with setting up the whole sort of mystery and investigation elements here, and it's really, really cool. And I think the story overall is really something that's extremely original and unlike anything I've ever seen before. I like it a lot. Now, gameplay-wise, Murdered Soul Suspect, like I said, is a detective game. You basically, search through crime scenes for different pieces of evidence, and then it falls upon you to place the evidence together into something that makes sense to propel the case forward, to sort of allow you to continue. So it's really kind of cool. You go through the different pieces of evidence available. You look at all the different outcomes, all the different things that happened, and you piece them together to come to a conclusion. It really, gets you thinking, and it's really, really cool. So I like how the gameplay is set up. There's also a couple stealth elements here, where you have to sneak around and stay away from demons who can eat your soul. Yes, there are demons in the game who can eat your soul. Now, there's no shooting in this game. It isn't like some over-the-top action game. You're not going to be shooting or killing anybody. It is just a detective game, and it reminds me a lot of those old point-and-click adventure games, and I like that a lot. Now, the game takes place in Salem, which is semi-open world. It's not like a huge, massive open world, but there are different areas to explore. There's tons of collectibles to find. There's tons of Easter eggs, and there's just tons of lore built into Salem that will definitely keep players coming back to sort of find all that, especially if you're an achievement or trophy hunter. Now, I really like the location of Salem. I think it's a great location for the game, and I think Airtight has done a really good job also with setting up Salem, with putting all those collectibles in there, and you're definitely going to get your money's worth while you play Murdered. Now, graphically, I can't really complain about the game either. It looks good. It runs at 1080p at 30 frames per second on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I'm playing the Xbox One version, and I really haven't noticed any graphical glitches. Now, you know, like I said, Salem is kind of open world, but it is a little linear. You know, when you're doing these investigations and things, there aren't like huge areas to explore, so the linearity could be, you know, one of the downfalls of this game. Now, playing through the game, you know, it isn't perfect. It isn't like the best game. There are definitely some flaws here and there. You know, there's a couple bugs that I've noticed, and there are a few like gameplay problems and whatnot, but overall, you know, I can't really complain about too much, but you know, there is a few things here and there that isn't really that good. So voice acting in the game now, which is what I want to talk about, is pretty well done. Ronan sounds good. All the other NPCs sound fairly good. Some of them don't sound that great, but you know, most of the voice acting in the game is good, and there's just you know, so much content in the game, like to find, so many little things to find. All these different little movies and whatnot that are really, really cool, and they're really well done. So overall, Murdered Soul Suspect, I've definitely been enjoying so far. I can't wait to get back into it. Can't wait to see Ronan's story through all the way to the end. And you know, while it does have flaws, and while it isn't the perfect game, while it isn't the best game out there, it is still a pretty decent game. And if you are into investigation games, if you are looking for something fresh, something new, a new IP, Murdered Soul Suspect is definitely a good bet. So there's my impressions for Murdered Soul Suspect. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please do not forget to comment, rate, favorite, and subscribe. Share the video with your friends on Facebook and Twitter. And if you have been playing Murdered Soul Suspect today, let me know what you think of it down in the comments below. Once again, guys, thanks for watching, and take it easy, everybody. I'll see ya.